Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Sitting in for Pinky Webb, I'm Ria Tanwat Cotrillo. Today on the program, Quezon City terminates its deal with a third-party online vaccine appointment platform. But how will this affect the city's vaccination program? Also, Juan City rolls out the use of Moderna COVID-19 vaccines. Is it on track to being the first city to finish its vaccination target? And later, how do Metro Manila LGUs prepare for the more transmissible Delta COVID-19 variant? Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte and San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora joined us live. Following complaints on the online vaccine appointment platform, the Quezon City LGU terminates its deal with private firm Zuelig Pharma. The LGU initially wanted to file charges, but later on expressed its openness for an amicable settlement. Also, how will this impact the country's vaccination program? Let's go straight to the source of the story, Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte. Hi, good morning, Mayor. Good of you to join us.
Good morning, Ria, and good morning to all of our televiewers.
All right, we've got a lot to talk about today. Now, in an interview yesterday, that you said that you were amicable to a settlement rather than filing charges against Zuelig Pharma. Can you tell us the status of what is going on between you and that company right now?
Well, first, I'd like to just give a background to the people who are watching our show. So the contract actually contains not only the warehousing and logistics which is what we really wanted as a service from Zuelig Pharma, but it also contained the online booking service. No? And so what we want to terminate is just the online booking part of the contract. And initially, given the distress and the inconvenience to the people of Quezon City using this booking platform, I really did want to file charges for breach of contract, as well as given the fact that we gave them an ultimatum last June 18 to fix their system because we've already experienced 8 crashes. And that's not very pleasant as an experience for our people. They asked for a last chance, and they told us in a report that they had fixed the system, that they had upgraded their server capacity. And we tested that when we opened 55,000 slots last Tuesday. And of course, this crashed again. So, of course, as a result of that, I really did decide that we have to end this partnership. And initially, I did want to file for damages, cost, and then also file charges. So no, and but as of yesterday, they reached out to us, and there will be a meeting between their lawyers and our lawyers because they're trying to explore ways by which we can avoid a bloody court battle here. And and of course, in Quezon City, some of the non-negotiables are: number one, I really would like for them to make a public apology to the people of Quezon City for all of the inconvenience they caused our people. Second, I would like for them to give us all of the data of our citizens. No? And then, of course, third, I would like them to waive all fees pertaining to the booking platform or the booking system, because I think we pay a fee for every citizen that is vaccinated through the booking platform.
All right.
And at the moment, they're still under negotiations with the eZConsult team. So there is no finality yet as to what is going to transpire.
All right. So for you, an amicable settlement would meet these 3 criteria: a public apology, that they turn over all the data, and waive all fees. Is that correct?
Yes. Among probably others that we might think of after we've completely reviewed the contract.
Okay, so what happens now, Mayor, for your constituents? Should they immediately stop using eZConsult and then use the LGU platform instead? What's happening with that?
Well, obviously, Rihanna, when Zuelig or eZConsult opened bookings 2 days ago, many people were still able to book their appointments. Now, so all of those that were able to book their appointments for today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Monday, these will be honored, and they can go to the vaccination centers of their choice, and they will receive their vaccines as scheduled. So that would not be a problem. Now, for all of those who still want to be vaccinated, the city, of course, had the foresight to set up its own organically developed platform called VaxEZ, and at the moment we have about 113,000 already registered in this system. And while this seems like a big number, I also would like to reassure the people that we have received 100,000 doses of Sinovac, and then 70,000 of the same for second doses, and then we received Moderna as well. No? So I foresee that in 3 to 4 days, we will be able to vaccinate all 113,000 who are currently registered on our VaxEZ platform.
All right, so people can just access the VaxEZ portal. Have you had any problems with that platform so far?
At the moment, we have had no problems. It's been very smooth sailing. In fact, the beauty of this platform is that it is controlled by the local government. And so if there are any glitches, we can easily fix these up, unlike with the eZConsult system, wherein if there are problems like crashing and errors, etc., we have to call the management team in Singapore, and sometimes they cannot be found, they cannot be located. We have to wait. It's been very frustrating working with them, actually, Ria. And we're actually quite happy that we will be ending this agreement. And so far, the VaxEZ portal has been very accessible to the people. They've been very happy with it. They've not complained about being unable to get through to it. At the moment, we are scheduled to vaccinate 37,000 already today.
All right, let's talk more about that in just a while. But for now, we'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte. Good morning once again, Mayor. Okay, let's just continue the discussion here. You know, we are talking now about vaccine and vaccine supply. Just going back to what we were saying earlier about your constituents who did register through the eZConsult platform. If they were able to register on that platform, then their schedules are confirmed and they can go to the vaccination sites. That's correct?
Yes, that is correct, Ria. In fact, today, some of these who were able to book via eZConsult will already be vaccinated in the designated vaccination centers that they chose on the online booking system. And incidentally, I forgot to mention that our VaxEZ system is also currently in the works towards having its own booking system as well. So right now we do not have that. We ask the people to register, then we assign them the different vaccination centers by calling them or sending them an SMS. But eventually we will also have an appointment system associated with the VaxEZ program.
Right, that would really increase efficiency. So I think you are targeting about 37,000 vaccinations today, if I'm not mistaken. Is that something that you will be able to carry out?
Yes, Maria, our record is 45,000, which we were able to carry out when the last batch of doses came for the A4s. And just 2 days ago, we finally received the COA, or is that a certificate of analysis, I think, that we have to receive before we roll out. So we finally received that, and we're good to go for the next 4 days. And we hope to finish all of the supply that has been given to us by the DOH in the next 4 days. And our target is about 35,000 or more each day.
All right. So you say the vaccine supply is going to last you another 3 to 4 days. What happens after that? Do you know when the next supply is arriving, and will it arrive on time, or will Quezon City constituents maybe have to wait a day or two?
Well, we have second doses always ongoing, and hopefully when we finish the first dose, the next batch of vaccines that are scheduled to arrive will be here. And I am just requesting for the Department of Health if they can speed up the certificate of analysis now, because actually the vaccines arrived last Saturday and we really wanted to roll out already on Sunday, but because we're not allowed to do so before the COA is released, and that was released only on Tuesday evening, I think that causes quite a delay and frustration as well for the people who are really excited about getting their vaccinations. But when we finish this batch that has been given to us, we have been assured that shipments will be arriving, especially this coming July, and we should not have any more problems with lulls in vaccinations. That was the promise of the national government to us.
All right. What is the target population for Quezon City? You guys are the biggest city in NCR.
Yeah, so Ria, the target here is, well, there are actually two. I'd like to explain that to the public. Now, first, we targeted 1.7 million, and that represents 80% of our adult population. Because at the time we set this target, during the early days of the vaccination program, there was no talk about children being vaccinated because there were no vaccines yet available for children. But later on, upon further discussions with the private sector now involved, they said that the actual number should be 80% of the total population. So the first target would have been 1.7 million. That's 80% of the adult population. And the second target is with children now, which is 70% of the entire population. And that would bring up the number to 2.2 million. But at the moment, we still have no guidelines in place from the national government pertaining to vaccinating children. So we're sticking to the 1.7 million in the interim. And at the moment, our status is we have already administered about 803,000 vaccines overall, 575,000 first doses and 227,000 second doses, and that represents 33 or about 34% of our population with first doses, and about 13% of our population fully vaccinated. And of course, our vaccination program is continuing to scale up. We've partnered with the private sector, government agencies, events, places, churches, HOAs, you name it, we've partnered with them, and we're adopting a whole of city approach towards this vaccination program. And we look forward to finishing way before the 6-month period that is given to us.
Right. So going at this rate, Mayor, when do you think you will finish, if we're going to base it on this target of 1.7 million constituents?
I think with 1.7 million, we can easily finish by September. At the latest. And if it's the 2.2 million, then maybe by November 27, as was the target for that number given to us by the T3 group or the private sector.
Yeah, it would be fantastic to get that done within the year. Okay, talking about something else, this week there's a lot of news about viral videos that came out of injections or vaccinations not being administered properly. And I do believe Senate President Tito Sotto asked his son, your vice mayor, to look into this because I think there are some similar complaints that came out of Quezon City. Can you tell us more about this? What do you know?
Well, actually, Ria, I don't know where that data comes from with regards to complaints about Quezon City. I have not received any. I've spoken to our city health officials. They have not received any. So I don't think that Quezon City is the right city that was, accused of having had this problem. But I was surprised because many members of the media were calling me about it. I asked them, send me the source, and they could not send me the source. So I don't think that is confirmed. I'd like to repeat that. But here in Quezon City, to avoid an incidents like this, we have, as you know, bakuna nights. No, we have 2 shifts there, so we do not allow our health workers to work beyond the designated work hours of about 8 hours a day. No, and now that we are ramping up and scaling up to include more A4s in our vaccination program, we are thinking of rolling out 3 shifts. No, so at the end of the day, I'd like to reassure the people of Quezon City that our health workers are not abused or they're not working beyond the hours mandated by law. And we have sufficient numbers of volunteers as well to make sure that we are able to carry out our objectives of vaccinating our people without sacrificing the health and welfare of our health workers. Thus, when they're tired, that probably is one of the reasons why they may make some mistakes and make some errors. And we will also want to avoid that because, of course, these errors, they cannot also be forgiven. We all have to be accountable for these things because the people do depend on excellent service from their local governments.
Right. So at least, as you were saying, there is no problem with manpower, at least in QC. So you're talking about, you don't want anything like this to happen in your city. What else are you doing to ensure that all and every single vaccination and injection is administered properly?
Well, what we do is we have an assessment session with our health workers every night. Not because we're a very big city, so the city district officer of every district meets up with the various health workers on a regular basis to try to find out what their problems are, what have been encountered, how best we can improve our services. So there's this regular assessment, and that's why in Quezon City we are continuously improving our services. If you noticed, Ria, in the beginning, we had lines up to eight hours. We had walk-ins. We were not practicing the proper health protocols. But now, you can get your vaccine in less than 30 minutes. And this is across the board because I really want standardized services all across the board in every site. No? And the health workers as well are well cared for. I make sure of that. And one reason why I don't think we have a problem with health workers is because we passed an ordinance wherein we give compensation to volunteers, because the problem is people cannot work, or health workers cannot work full time with the city. They have jobs, they work with hospitals, or they have their own clinics, but they can volunteer certain hours of the week or certain days of the week. But I want to make sure that even when they volunteer, they are properly compensated as well. And that has in fact attracted many volunteers to be working with Quezon City. And that's why today we are rolling out in about 26 sites and are confident that we will be able to reach our 37,000 target.
All right, on to another topic, Mayor. One thing that is worrying countries all over the world is this more transmissible Delta variant. How are you preparing for a possible outbreak of the Delta variant in Quezon City?
Well, obviously, the Delta variant will not enter the country if the border controls are in place. No? So obviously, that is the job of the national government. But here in Quezon City, as you know, Ria, we were the first city to have had the UK variant. And I think I'm proud to say we were able to address that very quickly by doing extensive contact tracing. We were able to isolate the individual right away. And we were able to contain the spread of the UK variant in its initial stages before they reach other parts of the country here in Quezon City. Now, at the moment, our the usual test, treat, and isolate systems are very much in place. We have already set up about 3,000 isolation beds in the city. Many of them are not actually being used at the moment. Less than, I think 30% are being utilized, given our low numbers now. But then we have about 3,400 contact tracers, and we have a testing capacity of about 4,000 a day. And we have our own molecular laboratory that can also test about 1,000 a day. So given all of that, we have also, I think, one of the strengths of the city, which people would think is a weakness, is its size. But actually, what we are able to do is empower our local chief executives in the barangay level. So all of them have received the proper training. All of them have quarantine facilities, even in the barangays, and all of them have contact tracers assigned to every barangay. So in terms of the structure of our response, I think that is in place. In terms of facilities, we have them in place as well. And we are as prepared as the textbooks tell us to be. But again, Ria, you never know with variants like this. They're different. We have no experiences with them. We can only hear about what they've caused in other countries. And judging from, we just actually use the experiences of other countries to increase our preparedness here in our city as well.
Yes, preparedness and an abundance of caution. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte. Now, this is The Source on CNN Philippines. San Juan is on track to finishing its population protection target in August. San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora joins us. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora. Good morning, Mayor. Good to have you with us.
Good morning, Ria, and thanks for having me once again on CNN.
All right. Now, Mayor, your city rolled out the administering of Moderna vaccines. Tell us a little bit about how that went.
Yes, actually, 2 nights ago, we received 1,800 doses of Moderna vaccines. And immediately the next day, which was yesterday, I had all 900 people for this vaccinated. In fact, we have our internal list of OFWs and seafarers whose employers require specifically either Moderna or Pfizer. So we had that in our database. So the moment we received the Moderna, we contacted them and made sure that they were the ones who were part of the 900 who were vaccinated yesterday with Moderna.
All right, so who else in your city is qualified for the Moderna vaccines aside from the OFWs and the seamen?
As a matter of policy, people really cannot choose the vaccines that will be inoculated to them. However, with regard to specific requests such as for OFWs, we give them consideration because it is useless to vaccinate them with a vaccine that is not accepted in a country that they will go to for work. So OFW seafarers are a part of the exception to the rule because they will need specific vaccines to be able to go abroad. So we kept a database of this. And in fact, after the Moderna vaccines, once we receive more supply and even once we receive Pfizer once again, we will continue to do this to be able to help them because it will be unfair for them if we insist on vaccinating them with a vaccine that is not allowed in the country that they're going to.
That's right. Now, Mayor, I spoke to you earlier this week and you were very proud about your city's vaccination rollout. If I'm not mistaken, you said you've inoculated about 70% of your target population. When do you expect to meet the full target?
Actually, just to update you, as of yesterday, we have vaccinated 73,987 people out of 85,400, and that represents 86.6% already of our target population to be vaccinated. So we are down to just 11,413 people or 13.4%. So our target really is by middle of July, we would have vaccinated already 100% of our target population with the first dose. And we are targeting by end of August, we have vaccinated already 100% of our target population with 2 doses. So at the rate we're going, I believe these targets are achievable as long as constant vaccine supply will be on hand. I don't think there will be any problem.
That is fantastic news for you and your constituents. But speaking of the vaccine supply, given the supply you have right now, how long will that last you?
Okay, the current supply we have will last us a few days. And what I do really is when I see that our doses are down to just 2,000 or 3,000, I make the calls myself. It's part of my being a hands-on mayor. I'm hands-on by nature. And I'm really micromanaging the vaccination program because for me, this is the most important undertaking of any mayor, not just in Metro Manila, not just in the Philippines, but all over the world. And taking a very hands-on stance here allows me to really fully manage the vaccine program. So once I see that the supplies are low, I really make the calls and ensure that vaccines will be delivered. So far, we have not encountered any vaccine supply issues yet. And hopefully, this will be sustained all the way until we finish vaccinating the entire population here in San Juan that is qualified based on age and health status.
Mayor, if ever, would you be open to accommodating residents from other cities once you've reached 100% of your target population?
Yeah, allow me to share also that the target population, which is 70%, is just for herd immunity. But we will not stop at 100% of 70%. We will really vaccinate the entire population. That is our objective. When I say entire population, as long as you are 18 and above and qualified to be vaccinated in terms of your health, we will vaccinate you. So it does not stop at herd immunity. That is why we are really pushing to be able to reach herd immunity by end of August, because this will allow us to reach our target. But we will continue on with the entire population even after that. Right now, we have opened our A4 for non-San Juan residents who are working in San Juan, and we are vaccinating around 800 to 1,000 of them at the Greenhouse Shopping Center theaters. So we have not just constrained our vaccination program to just San Juan residents. We have also opened it up to those living in other cities but working in our city, because every day they're also here. If we do not vaccinate them, there is a chance that they will infect our population. So it really makes sense that we should vaccinate them as well. And with your question, once we are able to vaccinate everyone, meaning the entire population, yes, if we will be given more supplies by the national government, we would more than be willing to help other cities, especially those close to San Juan, because the intention really is to have the entire Metro Manila and, of course, the entire Philippines vaccinated.
That's right. Now, key to this, of course, is the proper administration of these vaccines. And as you saw, I'm sure there was a video that went viral of an injection that was not properly administered. What are you doing on your end to make sure that mistakes like this don't happen in San Juan?
Yes, I was able to view that video, and I would like to assure everyone that no such incident has happened here in our city. And it's really a matter of supervising our people. About 2 weeks ago, I spoke to all 400 members of our vaccination team. I met them 1 hour before the opening of the vaccine program that day, and I personally thank them for the sacrifice and dedication that they've given to the city. And I also further motivated them because I told them maybe they do not realize how important they are. They are giving hope to our people. They are ensuring the protection of our population. And I made them understand the importance of their roles. And also, we gave them a little additional incentives to further motivate them in doing their jobs. Remember, it's been a year and 4 months since COVID broke out. And prior to vaccination, they have been doing testing, isolation, treatment, and all of these have been the load of our medical frontliners. So it's really a matter of talking to them and ensuring that they are in tip-top shape, not overworking them. Every now and then, we give them certain breaks to recharge. And then when they get back to work, it's 100% full speed ahead.
Right. How long is each shift for your volunteer healthcare workers?
We are doing 8 hours right now, but some go beyond 8 hours. It's also because we have a very small work population. In fact, San Juan is very small, thus our workforce is also very small, but we have augmented with a lot of volunteers. We also have augmented with the police and firemen who have nursing and medical backgrounds. Also, those from the barangay level, the barangay health workers, they're all augmenting now, and all of them have produced up to 3,000 vaccinees a day. In fact, we are opening our third site by next week, and this will enable us to now hit 4 up to 5,000 a day. This will be at the V-Mall of the Green Hill Shopping Center, and we are hiring probably another additional 200 persons for this. So this will further ramp up our vaccination program here in San Juan.
All right. Looks like you are going to hit that target with all hands on deck. Thank you so much for your time, San Juan Mayor Francis Zamora. And
thank you very much, Ria.
Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Ria Tanwat Cotrillo. You're watching CNN Philippines.